Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're an international buyer, an independent importer, or part of a procurement team, you're going to want to pay very close attention to this one. Choosing the wrong digital ecosystem for your manufacturing in 2026, well, that's basically a one-way ticket to wasted time, massively bloated costs, and the kind of supply chain nightmare that literally keeps you awake at 3 a.m. So today, we're putting the two absolute titans of overseas sourcing head-to-head. So which platform is actually right for your 2026 supply chain? I mean, the stakes here are incredibly high. Getting this wrong means misaligned production capabilities, and you'll just be stuck in endless communication delays with middlemen. But getting it right, that means dramatically lowering your supply chain risk and securing reliable, highly profitable production partners.
Here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll meet the two giants. Second, we'll go behind the factory doors. Third, we'll help you choose your perfect match. And fourth, we'll build a bulletproof supplier verification workflow.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, Meet the Two Giants, defining the ecosystems. Now, Alibaba and Made in China are the dominant directories connecting you with overseas supply chains, but they sell entirely different foundations. It's kind of like apples and oranges. Alibaba is the world's largest cross-border B2B marketplace. They host a massive mix of consumer categories. We're talking everything from electronics to apparel, the whole shebang. Made in China, on the other hand, is heavily specialized. Their entire focus is squarely on heavy industrial and mechanical manufacturing. Think building materials, excavators, heavy machinery. When you compare their core structures side by side, the contrast is actually pretty stark. Alibaba's supplier pool is this vast mix of factories, trading companies, and wholesalers. Made in China leans heavily toward direct factories. And you know what? That drastically impacts minimum order quantities. Alibaba offers immense flexibility for buyers, while Made in China generally requires moderate to high industrial batch runs. Moving right along to Section 2, Behind the Factory Doors, the mechanics of the platforms. To truly evaluate these platforms, you've got to look past the shiny user interface. One of the most massive challenges in sourcing is figuring out if you're talking to a true manufacturer or just a middleman with a really good website. Alibaba is absolutely packed with trading companies. And sure, they add a markup, but they also offer great perks, usually much better English, carefully curated catalogs, and significantly lower minimum orders. Made in China is where you go to speak directly with factory engineers about heavy technical customization. Oh, and here's a pro tip for you. Always check their business license. A real factory's scope explicitly says manufacturer, while a trading company will usually just say wholesale. Because minimum order quantity, or MOQ, basically dictates everything in this industry, let's establish exactly what that is. It's simply the lowest unit count required to trigger a production run. And this isn't just an arbitrary number, it's completely dictated by the hard realities of manufacturing, like machinery calibration and raw material purchasing. And those mechanical realities absolutely dictate your pricing. Alibaba is highly accommodating for small batches. They even offer ready-to-ship inventory for as low as 5 units. It's a brilliant testing ground for new product launches, though keep in mind you will pay wholesale prices for that convenience. Made in China operates on traditional, massive industrial cycles, requiring full container loads. But if you can handle that volume, you eliminate the middleman entirely and secure unbeatable factory direct pricing. Okay, Section 3, Choosing Your Perfect Match. Let's look at some real buyer scenarios. I want you to think about these next 3 scenarios and find your exact business model. Scenario A, if you operate a Shopify storefront, an Amazon FBA business, or a retail boutique, this is you. Your absolute best match is Alibaba. Speed to market is absolutely vital for you, right? And these suppliers are deeply accustomed to modern e-commerce needs. They understand custom box printing, they know exactly how to apply UPC or FNSKU barcode labels, and they're experts at consolidated express shipping for trend-driven consumer goods. Now, scenario B. If your business imports CNC machinery, structural steel, hydraulic pumps, or auto parts, your best match for sure is Made in China. Your products require precise, rigorous technical oversight. On this platform, the ecosystem is entirely tailored to technical engineering standards. You're dealing directly with factory sales technicians who actually understand your CAD files, your strict material tolerances, and those incredibly complex industrial compliance certifications like CE or ROHS. And then we have scenario C, which represents the heavyweights, bulk buyers, and high-volume importers. If you're out there placing multi-container orders, the most experienced sourcing managers actually use both platforms. It's a true hybrid approach. They'll issue requests for quotations, or RFQs, on Alibaba just to gauge broad market pricing. Then they cross-check those numbers with factory direct options on Made in China to fiercely negotiate container-level pricing and audit factory capacities. Finally, Section 4, Bulletproof Supplier Verification, your universal shield. Listen, it really does not matter which of these two giants you choose. Platform badges alone simply cannot guarantee product quality. As the source material directly warns, neither platform is inherently safer than the other. They are directories, not retailers. Alibaba has trade assurance for smaller transactions, and Made in China emphasizes third-party factory audit reports. But at the end of the day, your safety depends entirely on your own vetting process. So, your universal shield against risk is a strict 5-step independent verification pipeline. First, review the actual audit reports conducted by global firms like SGS or TÜV Rheinland to verify factory floor space and machinery. Second, always order and test a physical pre-production golden sample. Third, use secure escrow payments. Fourth, hire independent QC firms like Kima to execute a pre-shipment inspection right there at the factory. And fifth, define incredibly detailed specifications. Let's dig into step 3 for a second, because how you structure your payments is a real game changer. The golden rule of standard international trade is 30-70. You pay a 30% deposit when you place the order, then you hold on to the remaining 70% balance, and you only pay it after the goods pass that independent pre-shipment inspection. You can enforce this using Alibaba's trade assurance or Made in China's secured trading services. Never skip this. And regarding that final step about specifications, providing vague requirements inevitably leads to what the industry calls quality fade. You have to provide comprehensive spec sheets, tell them the exact dimensions, give them the precise material grades, the exact Pantone color codes, and clearly outline your acceptable quality limit, or AQL. Basically, leave absolutely nothing to interpretation, or trust me, the factory will decide for you. I want to leave you with this provocative question. As you head into your 2026 sourcing, are you just blindly relying on a shiny gold supplier badge on a website, or do you have a true bulletproof vetting process in place? Knowing the difference between Alibaba and Made in China is your strategic foundation, but your risk management workflow is what actually protects your capital. Apply this knowledge, structure those 30-70 payments, and source safely. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.